So apparently, the hawktuah girl has a podcast, and it's not good. It's genuinely terrible, according to memeulous. So let's see what he's got to say about it.
Hawktuah.
There
You gotta put fucking emphasis on like tuh. You know, like really. Yeah. Say it. All right, all together. Hawktuah. Hawktuah.
Wow, listening to this is a wonderful use of my day. Now, I've seen a lot of pointless podcasts that did not need to exist in my time. Like, just a few weeks ago, we looked at that podcast that I can't even remember the name of off of the top of my head. I think it was called, like, the Empowered Podcast.
I've never seen this guy before in my life. This guy has a lot of subscribers.
Or something.
When you come back, when you come back from work, you're tired, bruv. You just want to go to bed.
I can't wait for holiday.
Sometimes I'm in bed and I'm like, bruv, I need to brush my teeth.
And that was pointless, but this just takes it to a whole new level. For those somehow unfamiliar with the hilarious viral sensation of hawktuah, this is Hayley Welch. And she went viral a few months back for her response to an on-the-street interview by a channel called Tim and D TV.
What's one move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time?
Oh, you gotta give him that hawktuah.
I didn't even know who actually did this video. I never thought about it. Like, somebody actually made this video. And they actually got money from it, most likely. And damn, they probably got paid more than she does.
Spit on that thing. You get me?
Funniest shit I ever seen in my life. Incredible. This still makes me heartily belly laugh. And apparently the world did too, because she became very famous overnight for this. There was merch and everything. Let's have a look at some of it, because some of it is incredible. All right, so we got the hawktuah 24. Spit on that fang. Brilliant. I'd wear that to my wedding. American flag hawktuah. Eat, sleep, hawktuah, repeat. Again, I would wear this to the birth of my first child. If she don't hawktuah, I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk to her. This one's just grim. I don't... Like, it's just grim for some reason. She's also been making bank from public appearances, apparently charging up to $30,000 per one. Well, that's my future child's first birthday party sorted, and I'll be stood there in the corner in my unofficial hawktuah merch. But something...
Everybody forgot about hawktuah. I forgot about her. Nobody knows who this chick really is. Everybody knows the meme. And now it's a meme that she used to be a meme. Everybody will forget about her. She's gonna have to get away from the hawktuah stuff, or she's gonna go down in irrelevancy.
I've not seen anyone talk about is how weird the actual interview was.
Okay, I got another one for y'all.
Okay.
Would you rather? Hold on, is she listening?
Would you rather?
Would you rather have back shots for the rest of your life or missionary for the rest of your life?
Mate, what are we doing here? Going up to girls outside a bar going, what's better, missionary or back shots? I'm not sure if this is like...
I thought it was like she just randomly came up and answered a question. I didn't think there was an actual full interview.
Like a normal thing to do in America, and I very much doubt it is. But if you did that in the UK, you get called a weird nonce and laughed at until you went away. And that isn't the only strange interview she's done. She did this one with KIIS or KISS, I don't know how you pronounce that, an Australian radio station after she blew up, and it's fucking weird. I was trying to think of a more descriptive word for it, but the best way I could describe it is just fucking weird.
They all know who you are for such a funny little thing. Do you really hachtung, or were you just having a laugh there?
Why does that guy sound like a Scottish Danny DeVito?
Oh man, is that really the first question you have to ask this 21-year-old girl? Do you actually hawktuah? Man, come on, why are we doing this? Come on.
I was just having a laugh there.
So you're not a spitter?
Brother, come on now. Come on, surely you're better than this. It doesn't stop.
That's not even what that means. Hawktuah is like when you're spitting on it. Spit on that thing. It's not when you're spitting the ejaculate out.
Up there, I think he catches himself being weird and like just stumbles over his words.
Yes or no? Spit? No, spit.
What the fuck? But anyway, there was clearly a large demand for regular hour-long content with her, so she answered the prayers of the many and announced her podcast called Talk To Us. Like, hawktuah, but you're talking tuah. It's very clever wordplay.
I'm Haley Welch. A little while ago, my life took a complete left turn and it changed forever. And along the way, I've realized that everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
What does that even mean? Saying hawktuah gave you a new insight.
That was just word vomit. She was just saying stuff because she thinks she has to, because it's a podcast. You say words.
And perspective on life that made you realize that everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Did you not realize that before? What? I think she's just saying stuff for the intro. Fair enough. But what are you trying to say this? I realized that everybody's entitled to their own opinion. How did this make you realize that?
Well, now it's my time to talk. Check out my podcast every week, Talk to 'em, where I'm sitting down with the coolest guests and having actual conversations with them.
Oh, okay, well, that's good and novel. There's not many podcasts out there where people get guests on and have actual conversations with them. There was really a gap in the market for that, I think. Now, this podcast is ran by Jake Paul's company, Better, which, as you...
I'm getting tired of everybody who's coming into the social media game thinking that they gotta have a podcast, they gotta have a gaming channel, they gotta have a reaction channel, they have to have a news channel, which, I mean, that's kind of what I'm doing, but I'm doing it all in one thing. And I don't have a podcast and a gaming channel yet.
You might be able to guess is a betting site. And Jake, little piece of advice for you here. Keep funding this podcast. It is a very wise and shrewd decision, and this will no doubt return you millions. Every week, people from all over the world will be waiting with gleeful anticipation for the next episode of Talk Tuah. Anyway, let's watch this episode because that's what this video is about.
Come on, Haley, it's not that bad. All right, it's time to get out of the bed and quit rotting.
Haley, get up. All right, I'm ready to talk.
Get in!
Whoa.
Talk Tuah.
That
Us,
acting.
Haley. Do you get it? It's the name of the podcast. It kind of sounds like hawktuah, which is the phrase she said. Only intellectuals will understand this.
And I want you guys to get to know me better than Hawk Tuah.
Ah, good thing you called your podcast Talk Tuah then, because people will surely forget about that with that sort of branding.
No, it's tuh. Like, you really got to put your emphasis. Yeah, you're not saying tuah, you're saying tuh. You know? Like, you got to really put your back into tuh.
How fucking sick of saying that phrase
I like to say it like Tuah, because that's the way it looks like it's pronounced, the way it's spelled.
do you think she is?
Hawk
Hawk and tuah have probably been half of the words she said in the past 3 months.
Sounds like Native American.
Haley. Now, this may come as a shock to you, but this podcast is kind of uneventful. I know. Who would have guessed that, eh? In fairness to her, her presenting ability isn't bad at all for someone who got thrown into this like 3 months ago, and this is her first ever podcast episode that she's hosting. And she seems a nice enough person, but there's not a lot of substance to the first episode, like, at all. There is really no reason for this podcast to exist. It just feels like someone's gone, she's quite popular, let's just give her a podcast because it might do well and we might be able to get people onto our betting site. But one of the most interesting things to happen on this podcast,
Just saying, some money is better than no money.
is she kind of alludes to Jake Paul being a bit of a dick.
Jake's pretty wild.
He's a little spooky to talk to.
Really?
That's like a man, you know?
And what are
He's
you
okay.
noticing in the difference between being a fan of someone from afar and then meeting them? Like, is it what you expected?
He was exactly what I expected. Like, he lets on like he's an asshole, and that's what I like about him. He owns up to that shit. He knows it.
That's kind of big in the first 4 minutes of your first podcast.
Yeah, that's pretty big. But I don't like assholes. As a man, I don't like assholes. Maybe women are attracted to that. Actually, it's kind of a meme that women are attracted to assholes. But I fucking hate assholes. I'm a little bit of an asshole myself. And I hate me too.
Your boss is funding to just go, yeah, he's a bit of a shit. I respect it. I respect that massively. They then go on to talk about Botox for a bit, and it is astoundingly uninteresting.
I get a little myself. I call it Brotox when I do it. So when you start young, you're actually just getting rid of whatever wrinkles would pop up.
Well, yeah, but if you get all that shit done when you're young, by the time you're 27, you look like a lizard and you can't move your eyebrows. This is just big cope, in my opinion. Oh, yeah, I get Botox, but it's just like, it prevents, my face from moving.
Here's the thing. Number one, if you're a girl and you get Botox, number one, you're going to attract pedophiles.
What the fuck are you even on about? If anything, I found that Botox makes people actually look older. They just look more smooth. Are we really that?
Yeah, I think that they look older and also like aliens. And it's gross. And I can't believe anybody actually thinks that's attractive. I don't get it. I think it's just a mental illness.
Out of things to say already that we're at the point of going, yeah, anyone attracted to someone with Botox is a massive pedo. What are you talking about? What does that even mean? I feel like maybe this is a joke. I don't know. But it's not delivered like a joke.
But like, so that's something that is such a breath of fresh air about you.
It is.
You know?
I agree. So I'm gonna be real with y'all. I was never the biggest football fan. I honestly don't even get the rules that much. But what I do know is I like having fun and winning money. And Better Picks lets you win up to 1,000 times your money. The app is super easy and it makes it 1,000 times more fun.
10 minutes into the first ever episode and we're already getting an uncharismatic ad brief for a betting site. Hell yeah, I wasn't familiar with your game. But the fact you're promoting such a service that allows people to make...
When I download some movies, you know, unconventionally, unethically, sometimes I get some better ads, some BETR ads. And if you're getting some better ads on some piracy stuff, probably don't want to go to it. It's probably a scam, bunch of lies.
Loads of money is very respectable. This will no doubt change lives for the better. We should be more thankful for betting sites and casinos, I think, because they're really out here just giving free money to people. It's so kind of them.
I think that these games are the reason why all games have microtransactions and in-game stores and their own currencies. It's because casinos make a lot of money. So every game company, every game's got to have their own little casino. They're even turning the regular games into casinos.
Basically charities.
Just imagine if Chelsea said hawktuah and not you that night. Would Chelsea be sitting in that chair?
Okay, now these are the big questions I came to this podcast for. If her mate said hawktuah instead of her, would she be the one sat in that chair? Would she be the one with the 30 grand public appearances? Would she be the one with the hawktuah?
I don't think so. I think it's the face and the hair and the voice that does it. I don't think it was the phrase itself.
Merch? This is a philosophical question that people will be asking and studying for centuries to come. It's the modern, if a tree falls and no one is there to hear it, did it really fall? If Hayley Welsh's friend said hawktuah instead of her,
not even close.
Would she be hosting the Talk to Her podcast instead?
I can't do it as good as Haley. You do it.
No, you do it.
Hawktuah. You gotta put like an emphasis on it, like tuh. You know, like really. Yeah. Say it. All right, all together. Hawktuah. 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 Say it aggressive.
That's pretty good.
Like
That
really.
was a pretty good
you're
one.
mad at the day. You're mad at it.
Good. It's good.
Talk to a podcast. You have won the internet today.
Bro, I'm from Arkansas. It's still everywhere. I still hear it if I go out in public. It's at least one person at the store. I see shirts. People around here sound like her.
I think we need to like do I don't know, like a bar crawl where we get you drunk and try to get you a slogan.
I got something you can say.
This podcast is so dead. It's actually amazing. Like, it's just dead on arrival. They already have nothing interesting at all to say. And look, I don't blame Hayley at all. She's just secure in the bag and riding this wave she's caught. And honestly, she is the best person on this podcast. Like, these two have said absolutely nothing of interest to anyone who has ever lived on Earth. And this person just annoys me. But to be completely fair, she does tell some stories of interest. Like,
What's her name? I don't even remember her name.
Talks about her ear getting bit off by a staffy, which is a pretty mental story, and she does carry the conversation, and she's the guest. So where does it go from here? Are the guests just going to be carrying every episode? I don't know, I said Hayley is the best person on this podcast, but she acts more like a guest than the host.
She's like the comedian lady. She's like the female version of Bert Kreischer.
Do you know what I mean? Why am I analysing the Talk to a podcast this much? What am I doing? But the thing is, the podcast is just based off someone saying something that will make you giggle to yourself for like 1 second. I don't see how this lasts more than 10 episodes. And that...
You want to know a plot twist about this guy? There's no face under the mask. He only puts that mask on for comfortability and relatability from us. His real face is up here on his hat.
That's being generous. Like, what more is there to say after that?
But if they have a fan, that's better.
Do you remember that game I mentioned beforehand where you can win up to 1,000 times your money? Well, turns out it gets even better. Better Picks is offering a deposit match up to $200 and a free pick for all new users. So basically, if you put like $200 in, they match it. That's $400 right there.
What? That's free money! Oh, that's so generous.
Free
I very
money?
much doubt there is any catch or downside to that.
I like free money.
He's such a generous bloke, isn't he? Just giving away $200. Wow. God bless him.
Okay, maybe not.
Shit on that thing. That respect.
I'm not doing
Did she
this
just
anymore.
stab?
Like and subscribe to That Fang. By That Fang, I mean this channel.
Oh. Ah. I didn't like that. That hurt. That hurt to watch. Hopefully she gets better.